Episode 18 of Star Trek TOS is Arena. Unfortunately, I don't think this one's held up too well. There's two main reasons for that. One is the episode itself. Historically, it's aged badly. The man in the Gordon suit is immobile, looks ridiculous, to be honest, at this point. Especially when they're fighting Kirk. There's just no power behind anything they do. Kirk makes an entry in the little recorder that the Metrons give him that say any attack like this would have killed any human. But there's no power. None of the punches really land with anything. The gun doesn't do anything. He's too slow. The weapon that ultimately defeats him is chemically sound. I watched an episode of Mythbusters once where they proved that it works, but if you have to get the measurements absolutely right, the mix of everything has to be perfect, and even then you're not going to get too much power out of the diamond launching. So that's kind of keeping with the rest of the episode, I guess. Even the start of the episode works quite well. I like the overall premise of it, that Cestus 3 is a Gorn colony that they didn't know about. It's a Gorn planet, but they've colonised it, so they're going to protect themselves. That's a good concept. The Metrons themselves interfering to try and deal with it, having gone through their area of space, and the humans have to prove that they're actually better than just half savage, as the Metron eventually called it. Reminds me of what Q called us a savage child race at one point. So yeah, it doesn't hold up too well. And then the second part of this is that Strange New Worlds has completely ruined us. Unfortunately, the canon of this episode suggests this is the first time we've met the Gorn. Spock doesn't recognise them. They don't know the name of the Gorn until the Metrons tell them it's a Gorn. But we know from Strange New Worlds that they've dealt with the Gorn quite a few times. You would know who they are, Spock especially. So that doesn't really fit anymore. Other interesting parts of this, they should know that Cessus 3 has been destroyed from orbit. Their sensors would tell them that. Again, this is one of these they haven't quite established what they can do from orbit versus what they do in the planet. There's an interesting debate between Kirk and Spock. In his quarters, Spock wants to offer some alternatives. Kirk decides it's an invasion, and so Spock backs down and just says, well, you need to go after them. And they can't get back to their home. But then in the bridge, he countermands that. He suggests that they should do something else. They shouldn't be trying to destroy it. So it's a bit of an inconsistency there. I think Spock's trying to be a good first officer, but his timing's maybe off. And yeah, it's used to be a good episode, I think, without Strange Worlds, but it has aged badly. So I'm going to have to give this a 2 out of 5, unfortunately. It's a shame.